Something cool here with John Paul. Clutch, how you doing, brother?
Very good. How are you?
Good, man. Good.
Excellent.
Let's talk about Earth Rocker. Now, this is the 10th, and it is so far tearing up the charts. It's your best one to date. Now, this is on your own record label, you guys. And does that kind of make things easier, or is it a little bit harder wearing two hats like that?
You know, initially when we started the label, it was definitely a learning experience. We had to overcome some hurdles and kind of figure out what it meant to run your own label. I will say though, as difficult as it was not nearly as difficult as it was dealing with the major labels like we did in the 90s,
right?
And then later on with DRT. Those are frustrating times for the band, The labels that would sign the band would be really excited because they would see that this band had a fan base and we could sell a certain amount of records on our own. And so inevitably the label would say, yeah, we want to sign these guys. And we'd make a record and they'd put the record out, and very quickly they would learn that working a Clutch record is not an easy sell.
Right.
It's not easy to put the music in a particular category and just look at us. So, there's not really any way to market that kind of a thing. So it was always a tough time. We enjoy having our own label very much. It gives us an immense amount of freedom. We really have control of what kind of records we want to make and where we want to release them and how we want to release them. So it's been really, really empowering.
Very cool. Best thing about it too is there's going to be no button heads. I know you guys had problems with royalties before, things like that. Everything goes through you, and it's
Yeah, there's no question. We kind of run the whole thing front to back, and it's great. We're in a really good spot.
Now we're coming up. Actually, next year will be 25 years for you guys.
Coming up, yeah, it'll be 24.
24?
Yeah.
No, that's tremendous.
Close
you know what I mean? For all you guys to be together for that long. Well, you get 1990, so 2014, 2015, 25.
Yeah, yeah.
But how do you guys all manage to be together for that long? And it's the same band. You look at some of the bands that have been out for so many years, and it's just like, well, sometimes you'll be lucky if you have the singer that's still in the band.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you look at these classic rock bands that will come around, and it's just like, I think there's the drummer that's still in the band, and it's,
I think the main thing that I can attribute our longevity to is the idea that when we formed the band, we really had two goals in mind, and that was to play good shows and make some good recordings. And that was really the beginning and the end of it. The idea of making this a career was, at that time, completely off the charts. It was not something we really considered. The bands that we looked up to were not bands that were on the radio. They were not bands that filled arenas. These were bands that worked in nightclubs. And we learned a lot from those kinds of bands. So I think we still subscribe to that same mentality these days. Luckily, we were able to make a career out of it, and we've had Earth Rocker be very successful for us, and that's been great. But at the end of the day, we're still trying to do the same thing. We just want to make some kick-ass records and play some great shows.
You mentioned that you guys live shows is one thing you guys were pushing. I noticed with the Machine here as the producer, he almost put a live feel to the album, like the way you guys everything got set up, the track listing, things like that.
Sure. Machine had a lot to do with the sequence of the record. That's something we always struggle with too. Sequencing an album is a difficult thing for us anyway. We knew though when we were going into making this record, we wanted to have a record that had a good flow from beginning to end. We saw that there was a void of straight up rock and roll records out there. And so we set out to make one of those records, a record that you could listen to from front to back. It was a complete experience. And Machine certainly helped a lot making that a reality. And so for him, we're very thankful.
Very cool. You guys got a lot of touring left to do. I know the States wrap up next month, and I know you guys are going over to Australia, and then overseas from there, you go to the UK and things like that.
Yeah, we'll stay busy for the rest of the year. We'll also try to carve out some time to record some new songs too. We hope to put a record out sooner than later. There was a 3-year lapse between Strange Cousins of the West and Earth Rocker, and we'd like to see that be a shorter time window this time. So we're already working on it. We have some songs we've been kicking around, lots of ideas, and some plans as far as how we want to go about making this next record. So it's exciting.
Very cool. Now, I know you guys had a long relationship with Bammer. Directed one of your videos, and you are in a side project with Jess.
That's actually Neil with the company band.
Okay.
But Jess is a good friend. Yeah, you know, those guys used to come see our shows when they were just young little skate kids.
Right.
You know? And they'd always come out to the shows and have a good time. They're pretty wild. And I remember being really impressed when the one kid said, "Yeah, I'm going to have a TV show on MTV." And I thought, "What are you talking about, man?" You know? But he's been a great ally to the band, and certainly lots of folks got turned on to our music because of his show, and so for that we're grateful.
Watch it, the bounce house sequence when they were around there sliding down the hill and you guys were playing at the bottom.
That was the one. That was a lot of fun. That was an experience playing on a ski slope.
Now he's actually got his own band, Fuckface Unstoppable now.
Yeah.
Any chance you two do shows together or tour or something like that?
Anything could happen. To be honest, I've not heard that band yet. I am curious to hear what it would be like. It's quite a name, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It really is. Yeah. I mean, right now he played here a few months ago, and it's pretty good. It's they do a lot of your songs on stage, so it's just very very
That's
cool.
flattering.
And then he's got maybe two of his own, more like a techno type thing, but
Okay.
it'd be an interesting mesh to see you guys working out together.
Sure, that'd be great.
Now, for anybody that wants to follow up with you guys, they want to know where to see you next, they want to get in touch with the band as far as being a follower and saying, "Hey, great show, I met you here," things like that. What's the best way to reach out to the band?
You know, the Facebook page is something that we sort of neglected for a long time. It has really become sort of the hub of all the information that happens. We try to post a set list every night, and we try to keep it updated. You know, we try to provide some real information there. So, in all honesty, the Facebook page is really where it's at. It's funny though, you know, leading up to Earth Rocker, we really started to take that into account, and I think you really can't discount the impact that the social media network has had on not just our band, but just the music in general, the scene and overall. It's a valuable tool. You have to learn to manage it, but that's the place to go.
That must have been an interesting experience for you guys too. I mean, for being out that long, years ago, it was like, flyers, you got some stuff on the radio.
Sure.
Now it's like, you got to be on the social media to get a hold of these kids and knowledge.
You have to do it. If you don't do it, you're really missing out on a huge portion of your audience.
Yeah, I mean, everything's changed. I mean, you're no longer going to the record store. The release is Tuesday. I can't wait to go get something now. Let me see if I can download this today, and you know what I mean? Let me see what they're doing this way.
Yeah.
So, big changes, and it's cool that you guys are adapting to everything that's going through.
You have to do that. That's part of a band. You know, we were talking about longevity before. Another element of that is just being flexible and being cognizant of how the business changes. You know,
right?
As much as we are sort of dead set on making the kind of music we want to make and recordings that we want to make, you also have to be very open-minded and realize that people exchange information in new ways all the time. So we do our best to stay on top of that.
Very cool. All right, man. I appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you.
Looking forward to something new coming out very soon,
Excellent.
sooner than later.
Yes.
And then once again, it'll be Facebook/Clutch. Is that how it works for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Facebook/Clutch. Check them out there, and it is pro-rock is the actual website to go. There's links to everything there. There's tour dates. There's links to their Facebook, and there you go. Perfect. Thanks.